Yeah, I know she emailed it.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. 1, 2. Thank you. Colleagues, good morning. Sorry, I think I'm 1 minute late. As you know, for those who don't know, my name is Mark Smith, and I'm going to be the program director for the oath ceremony today. And just from my side, very welcome to our Deputy Dean for Learning and Teaching, Prof. Lawrence, our HOD of our department, Professionalism, and our coordinator, Dr. Cornell Hart, and also then lastly, Commissioner Gubele. And the most important guest, of course, is you. This moment, the ceremony, this event is all about you. I said yesterday, if you have commitment issues, then please walk out now, because today you are getting formally married to the profession. You know, very often and you will know from a theoretical point of view, whenever we engage around the topic community development, there are certain things that pops up. One of those things are social justice, human rights, democracy, sustainable development, inclusivity. Those are key values and principles that you will encounter for your rest of your life. And today you make a commitment to uphold all of that. Doesn't matter how stormy, how sunny, you must live that from today. Before I hand over to our program coordinator to do the formal opening, I just want to leave you with a quote. And this quote links to the importance of ethics and integrity in any profession, in any life we live. And this is a quote by Tata Nelson Mandela, and he said, "Those who conduct themselves with morality, integrity, and consistency need not fear the forces of inhumanity and cruelty." I repeat, those who conduct themselves with morality, integrity, and consistency need not fear the forces of inhumanity and cruelty. So that being said, colleagues, today the ethics is all about integrity. And if we are consistent, then we do not need to fear those forces, because we will face those forces from this year onwards up until the day we retire as a CDP. So thank you very much, colleagues. I'm handing over now to Dr. Cornell Hart.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning. Good morning, colleagues.
Good morning.
I want you to place your right thumb here by your shoulder bone, and then just have your hands like this in a straight diagonal bit, and where your middle finger touch is exactly where your heart is. Not this heart, your heart. And so whenever life is going to be making you lose your breath, anxiety, we spoke a lot about keeping the pulse, staying grounded. Then you can just quickly check where's the heart, and then you can say, it's okay. Because this profession is about changing lives. But to change lives, you must have the heart for it. And that's why you're getting married today. I said to you yesterday, you know me, there's commitment issues from me, just with other partners, but that's because I can't cheat on my profession. So, colleagues, a few words to say to you officially welcome. Welcome to what I think is the most important day of your life. It is life-changing, and so it starts with you. The change starts with you, and if you embrace today, this will be your North Star for the rest of your life. And so we spoke a lot about the profession at the beginning of the semester, and we shared a lot of secrets of what we wondered and how we didn't know and how we think of how we're going to go ahead. But welcome officially into the profession. Your first year, I think you now realize after last semester, the first year was just to say to you, this is UWC. The first semester of your second year is, this is community development. But the best part of this degree starts on Monday, when you start with your practice, when you start embracing real situations. So I want to leave you with a lovely quote from Denzel Washington. See, I do watch TV every now and then. And you can Google it also. It's beautifully done on YouTube also, where they had a discussion with him where he said, dreams without goals are just dreams. And remember, we're going to do lock frames still a lot. But dreams without goals are just dreams. And on the road to achieving your goals, you are bound to be disappointed. And remember, we've discussed it. You're not failing, you're just delayed with something. And so on this road, while you are experiencing so many disappointments, on this road of achieving your goals, you must apply discipline. But more importantly, you must apply consistency. Because without consistency, you will never start. And last but not least, without commitment, you will never finish. And so today you make this commitment. Today you commit for life to this profession to do one very, very big aspect, and that's to honor human rights. And so we are so, so blessed to have the Human Rights Commissioner today to do a keynote address for you. Because it's injustice that got us in society where we are. And so if anybody, we've discussed it when people say, what is it that you do? And I said to you, everybody will not be sure. And I always say to you, find a way to explain. But I think after today, say that I'm a practitioner who builds, who honors, and who stands for human rights. So may it be one of your best days and the start of a life-changing experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hart, for the warm welcoming in a cold winter. I see some of our key partners also join. Very welcome. Also very welcome to those who are joining virtually. And I am sure that you are all proud of your daughters, your sons, your friends that's doing the oath today. So very welcome to you as well. Colleagues, I'm going to hand over now to our HOD, Prof. Minichen van der Westhuizen, and she will also do a welcoming from her side. Thank you very much.
So I have a speech, but now I had to change it a bit. Because I saw these banners here, and that was basically what I was going to talk about. But we have the real person here to talk to you about integrity, about the principles that guide us when we work with humans and with the earth and with ourselves. From my side, obviously I'm saying a warm welcome to this very, very important day. But I am very cognizant at the moment when we walk the streets, when we talk to people, when we listen and we hear what people are saying about their lives, about their dreams, about their concerns. If we read a newspaper, if we watch the news, then we cannot doubt why community development is not only relevant, it's essential. So you chose a highly relevant but also essential discipline that will become your career. And with that comes a huge responsibility. I also listened to Dr. Hart, so I'm repeating a little bit there as well, but that only shows how very important it is. You, every one of you, would go through as a human being. I am a human being and you are human beings. And we have life stories. And there's not one of us in this room today who have not been affected, but by some form of trauma, some form of injustice, some form of something that hurt us as human beings. We have to work with that. We have to be okay if we want to create change, if we want to support change. So, with this welcome and this amazing day, you are making a commitment to a profession, but make that commitment to yourselves. To always look after yourselves, to make sure that you are okay, so that you can be a key role player in making our society okay, and empowering our society to be okay. So with that, I'm not just saying this morning welcome, I am saying I salute you for the choices you've made this far, and I wish you all the best for the road ahead. This is truly the beginning. You will be looking forward to graduation, obviously. But today is actually the day that you should remember as the day where your purpose in life started, where you made the commitment to be that person who makes a difference. So good luck. Enjoy every moment of this 2 hours that we have together.
Thank you, Professor van der Westhuizen, for your input and kind words. You know, a few years ago, I also did my oath in front of Prof.
I'm old.
So yeah, you know, like I said earlier, and I think the previous, speakers said, it's all about commitment. It's all about serving our communities. It's about serving our profession. It's about standing tall when other professions want to bully us. But it's very important that we show commitment, that we show perseverance in whatever we do. So today is not only about signing a paper. It's not about that. It's not about coming here, taking your picture, and it's not a compliance activity. It's a lifelong commitment. And your journey is starting today. And because your journey is starting, I'm going to invite now our two next speakers. So these two speakers are our senior students in the 4th year. So they were part of the very first cohort that actually kicked this program off. So if you ask them now, they will now tell you lots of stories that frustrated them, but I'm very sure they're gonna inspire you today. And it was, you can ask them, it is perseverance. It is about going forward when everything, around you seems like it's confusing you, it's frustrating you. And then you remember this time. You remember this oath. And this will push you forward. So I'm going to invite now, I see Harmony is already on her feet. So it seems like she will be the first speaker. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Harmony Verwant.
Very short. Okay. to. Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you. Good day, everyone in attendance, my newly esteemed colleagues. I'm Harmony Verwant, speaking on behalf of the fourth year Bachelors of Community Development Group. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone today for the opportunity to speak. It's an amazing honor to speak to a cohort that came after the cohorts of COVID. Congratulations, first and foremost, because it just gets rough until it becomes routine after this. I was asked to speak about human rights and ethics today. Human rights forms the basis of community development. After all, we aim to guide and assess the development of humans in the communities. Human rights is the fundamental embodiment of the dignity and worth of individuals, regardless of their backgrounds, beliefs, and their circumstances. We affirm our commitment to fairness, equity, and justice by upholding rights in our community development practices. We as practitioners recognize that every person has the right to food, water, shelter, education, and healthcare. Ethical principles complement human rights by providing a framework for responsibility and accountable action. Not only are you promising to uphold the values and principles of the university, but you are also creating a name for yourself in the field. Ethical principles guide us in making decisions that are transparent, equitable, and respectful of diversity. They compel us to be open, to listen to diverse perspectives, and collaborate with community members to assess and assist with their needs and aspirations. Furthermore, incorporating ethical standards and human rights into our work builds community ties and confidence. Community members are inclined to actively participate in development programs when they see that we value their rights and their well-being. In order to develop lasting solutions that align with the goals and values of the community, cooperation is crucial. In the field, you might experience prejudice, offensive behavior, and exclusion. But when you uphold the ethical principles that you incline to follow, not only will these ill practices be evident to you, you will also have enough grounds to fight back. By practicing ethical behavior, you even have grounds to report incidents that may have led to the defamation of your character and defamation of this practice. With all honesty, you will encounter times that may push you to not want to follow ethical practice or ethical conduct for that matter, because you might get scared or you might get furious. Trust me, it's infuriating. But with sticking to the principles that guide conducive community development practices, you will grow and become more resilient. These are intelligent citizens who have amazing capabilities. You will learn how to expand, explore, and utilize their capacities. Still, you will also have to act in a manner that gains their trust and loyalty, because behaving ethically is not only about the paperwork, it's about the promise to the community that lives lives of vulnerability, that you are not just there to help, but you are there to protect them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Harmony. I think you shared valuable points, and what I take from this, I think there are three key things that I just want to highlight. It is the one is, I think, when we refer to ethics in community development practice, we need to understand that we have a threefold accountability. One towards the profession, that's important. One towards the institution where you will be placed and your workplace where you will work one day. And the third one is the people, the community. Community development is for the people, by the people. And we could never be superior and make the community feel inferior. The other point, Harmony, that I want to highlight, and colleagues, is that human rights plays a significant role in achieving social cohesion in the community. Where rights are compromised, then there can be no equal community. There can be no peaceful community. And therefore, human rights, social justice, inclusivity, it's the centerpiece of community development. And the last point, sometimes my handwriting, confuses me. The last point, and I think that you agree with all the previous speakers, Harmony, is when you said, that it's very important that we don't see ethics and conduct as a compliance issue. Because we are moving in a space, in a new liberal space, where everything is about compliance. But ethics is a way of living. There is no such thing as community development being a 8 until 5 job. And then you decide, I'm no longer a CDP. It is a commitment, it's who you're going to become, will be part of you. So when you see an injustice while you are on leave, you must take action. Because this is how far this pledge would go from today onwards. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep Zazipho on her feet very long. Zazipho is also one of our fourth-year students. He's also on our faculty student council. And please join me in welcoming her as the next speaker. Thank you.
Good day to everyone present today. BCD students, you all look so beautiful today. The white is just bringing light into the room. As Moquin said, I am Zizipho Dunya, and today I'm just going to talk to you as a friend. I am going to shy a little bit away from the formalities, and I'm going to talk about the reality. I always say that we are very lucky to have chosen this discipline. We are very lucky to have chosen community development because it is a way of life. It is just how life is supposed to be. We're supposed to empower one another. We are supposed to work together. We are supposed to be empathetic towards one another. And this is something that we have always been taught, growing up. But now it is a matter of professionalizing it and also spreading it wide, so that the whole world can live with this principle. Because there is no sustainable development, there is no thriving, there is no succeeding without us having to work together and, loving each other, just generally loving each other. So I'm going to tell you a very popular community development story. Maybe some of you have heard it. But there was these white men who came to Africa once upon a time. And then they realized that in this rural community, people are poor and they have no access to food. And so they decided that they would make a garden within the community. And why not? Because the land is good and the river is close by. And then they went ahead and did that. But a couple of, probably months down the line or weeks, when they planted tomatoes in the garden, and when the tomatoes were about to be ripe, they went there and then they realized that the tomatoes were gone, the tomatoes were destroyed, and only to realize that in that nearby river there were hippos. And they were so frustrated and asked community members that, why did you not tell us that we cannot plant in this area? And the community members said, you did not ask us. So the moral of the story is that no matter how educated you are, no matter how much distinctions you may get, but when you get to a community, you know nothing about it. And you can never do anything productive and sustainable without having to directly engage with those people, work together in the same level. You are not superior, you are just there to collaborate and work equally with people. So I urge you this morning that may you please walk out of this room knowing that you are not there to flaunt about this beautiful degree. You are not there to be superior than any other person, and you do not use your education to undermine people, because without those people, there is no you, there is no me, there is no us. And the only way to make community development work is to work together. No matter how much you can go into WhatsApp and do a good community profile, you know nothing about the community still. You still need to engage with those people. You still need to get their perspectives. You still need to know what they want, what they need, and what they know about the community. Each community has its history, and you can only know about that history from its people. And another thing, when you go out there to your practicals, please respect yourself. Please respect your mentors. Respect their wisdom, respect the information that they are going to share with you. And sometimes you will feel like you know more than them. That is a fact, I know. But always be willing to learn, and always, even if there comes a time where you feel like you need to exchange information with them, do it politely. May I ask politely? And please, for the last time, respect yourself. Dress accordingly. This unity thing starts with you. I remember telling some of you last year that you will not make it if you do not work together. So if you have not done that, start today. Check up on each other. Hold each other respectfully accountable. Because now we are about to get out there, and please be united and love and respect one another. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zazipho. Empower each other, working together with people. And there is no community development without respect, unity, and equity. Thank you very much, Zee. Colleagues, it brings us to the next speaker, our Honorable Commissioner. Please allow me to introduce our keynote speaker for this event. Commissioner Aseza Arthur Gungubele is a human rights activist that is committed to the upliftment of human dignity and positive social change. The Commissioner has extensive experience in public service, having worked in various government sectors. He has held positions in Western Cape Department of Education, specifically with a focus on supply chain and finance. Additionally, he has worked in the Pieter municipality in the political office as the manager of the deputy mayor and also the mayor's office, and as the performance manager responsible for institutional and individual performance. Commissioner Gungubele has also been actively involved in youth development, both as a student and politically. He has assumed leadership roles in civil society structures, serving as a district secretary for the Eden District Youth Council and as the provincial organizer in the Youth in Agricultural Rural Development, among other organizations. Commissioner Ngubela holds a National Diploma in Retail Business Management from Cape Peninsula University of Technology, an Advanced National Diploma in Public Administration, and a Bachelor of Administration Honours degree at the University of the Western Cape. He is currently serving as a National Commissioner for the South African Human Rights Commission, responsible for 3 focus areas, which is migration, human settlement, and climate justice, assigned also as the responsibility to give strategic support and guidance to the Western Cape and also to the Eastern Cape province. Ladies and gentlemen, guests, and also our other speakers, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Commissioner Ngubela.
Good morning to everyone. Molweni, goeiemorgen. Just to check if everyone's okay. I've seen very serious, sad, unsure faces. Can you just, next person to you, just ask, how are you? Next person to you. I think that's a very important thing. Just feel the next person, just how are you? It's a very key, important message. Just to understand the person next to you. I can see immediately after that, I've seen smiles change from your faces. Thank you. Program Director, Mr. Smith, Head of Department, Dr. Hart, Professor, Van der Heijzen, Acting Dean, Deputy Dean of Teaching and Learning, Professor Florence, parents joining us online, students, my colleague from Human Rights Commission, Michelle, distinguished guests, allow me to say all protocol is duly observed. It is an honor and a privilege today to be here on this important occasion to address this fundamental topic that continues to progress our beloved nation, South Africa. As we stand on the threshold of 30 years of democracy and human rights, it is essential to reflect how we can further strengthen these foundations. One of the most crucial elements of this journey is ethical community development. Program Director, I would have not been doing justice in today's engagement if I do not reflect the role of the University of the Western Cape have played in changing the reflection of ordinary poor and marginalized members of the society. This university have shaped and sharpened many of us, in particular those that are historically being marginalized, hence is known as the University of the Left. It has always been on the side of the people, in particular the oppressed. As we reflect, and it is important to note South Africa is coming from a very painful past, a past of apartheid regime, where majority of people of the Republic have not enjoyed any rights, have been discriminated against based on their race and their skin color. With the breakthrough of 1994 and the new dispensation of democratic government that adopted a new constitution that is worldwide recognized as the best constitution, that respects the human rights, that speaks about human dignity, that speaks about the right to education, that speaks about equality. And that's a key important features of our constitution of 1994. As we converge here today, colleagues, yesterday we celebrated one of the greatest ethical leaders of our country, the late Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. He once said, open quote, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the life of others that will determine the significance of our life we lead." Close quote. Let me repeat. Open quote, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead." Yourselves, future generation, future leaders, ambassadors, importantly, of this great institution, as you will be going out in different sectors and communities, there are some great lessons you can learn and internalize in the life of Nelson Mandela. But before I do that and share those lessons, allow me, Program Director, to state it categorically so that the gains of the democracy have been reversed. How have the gains of democracy been reversed? It's being reversed by unethical leaders of the society. What is unethical leaders? Are the corrupt people stealing from the government, stealing from the poor. 2 are the greedy leaders that they don't want to serve people, they want to serve their own interest. 3, we have seen the collapse of service delivery and collapse of state institutions by these corrupt and greedy people. That's what is currently happening in the country. Let me share the lessons that we can learn from Nelson Mandela, that also yourselves, you can take it and internalize it as you're going forward to the work serving our communities, serving the South African nation. One of the key things that I thought would be important to share today, as you'll be going out serving the communities, that's what we call selflessness. What does it mean to be selfless? A very difficult word. It's a very difficult topic. Selflessness means that it's a right people who do the right things for the right reasons, in the right way, for the right people, in the right places to advance people's interests. Let me repeat it. Selfless are the right people who do right things for the right person, in the right way, for the right people, in the right places to advance people's interests. Second one, you must be, as community developmentals, you must be beyond reproached. How do you, when the person says that we are beyond reproached? In my home language, they went to further to say that you must not have a kapaza. Kapaza means that, literally means that when you wear a shirt, anything else must have no stains on it. It means you must be clean, you must be trustworthy, you must be harmless, faultless, blameless. That's what it makes you to be. You must be beyond reproach. Nothing people can say about you that is unethical. You might be inspire confidence. People when they see you, they must be saying that it's a person of integrity. The third one, I think is very important, that you must also in the constitution of the country. They always say that you must be fit and proper. People think fitness is how you look like. A fit and proper person is a person of integrity, a reliable person. Most importantly, you must be honest. Honesty is a key important thing. People must be able to come and confess to you, as you're going to be dealing with people's challenges. But who do you want to go to speak to? A dishonest person says this and lives other thing. Those are the 3 things that I want to share with you that you think you should be internalizing going forward in this field. As you mark on a new journey in your lives and being ambassadors of an institution, but importantly, for your families and for yourselves, I just want to say our nation have experienced and shared conflicts, but we have shown remarkable resilience and capacity for reconciliation. Ethical community development practitioner plays a vital role in conflict resolution. I think that they've been mentioned, so peace building. That's what you do. By promoting dialogue, that's when we spoke about society, communities, engage the communities, engage dialogues. That's one spoke about it already. But we also, as well, saying that people when they speak to you, you also play the role of mediation. That's what the human rights does. You mediate, you listen to different communities, we're trying to find long solutions on the issue that affects them. That's the only way that we can able to address the injustice of the past and build more harmonious society. What you are here for, you want to build a proper harmonious society. It's want to change the lives of our people. At the heart of ethical community development, leadership is leadership that is transparent, As you go out, you must be transparent. People must be able to trust you, must be transparent, accountable. Whatever thing that you do, each action you take, you must be able to account for your action. Accountability, there's very few people that are accountable. And visionary. Ethical leaders inspire, trust, and guide communities with the integrity. They are committed in the principle of democracy and human rights and work tirelessly to uphold them. As we look to the future, nature, ethical leadership, all levels of society will be crucial. It is through such leaders that we can continue to build a nation that truly reflects our determined gains. I believe that those taking the oath today will embrace the qualities of ethical community development as the start of their career. I urge you to work collaboratively with the communities to frame initiatives that builds resilience, collaboration, and sustainable community developments. I would also like to encourage the veterans that have been on the field already to commit themselves in the principle to work together, create South Africa that works for all, that respects our constitution and democracy. Program director allowed me to quote, I think it was one of the lecturers from this institution, the late Dr. Louis Kepis. He once said in our engagement with him, I have nothing else except my reputation. Close quote. As you be going out servicing communities, you have nothing else but except your reputation. And this institution's reputation. Whatever you do, it's about you, it's about this institution. So what people sees you sees the institution as well, sees your family. So what is very important, guard against any unethical behaviors, any influences. As I think, as I'm a close program director, one of the key things that destroy this beautiful nation is unethical leaders, it's corrupt leaders. Be uncorruptible. Serve the people diligently. Spend your time to listen, as one was saying it. Listen and engage people. I will not be speaking more about human rights. I think my former colleagues have already spoke about it. But take time, check chapter 2 of the Constitution, know the rights of the people so that we can be able to interact with them. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to wish you well on the new journey. I know you'll make the success of it. May God bless you. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I see you are still a fired young activist. It's good to see that part again. Commissioner, also thank you very much for reminding us that we are standing today on, I want to almost say, holy ground. It is a ground where, when other doors were closed, this university said, it's open. It's a ground where we said, we will fight for the people of the Cape Flats. We will allow the people from Eastern Cape to come and study here. So thank you very much. We can never forget where we are coming from. Also, Commissioner, thank you very much for reminding us that we need to continue advocating to give true realization to the values and principles of our Constitution. That's a never-ending job, and that is why we are here. And also, the lessons you have shared, we must be selfless. We must be a person of integrity. Our country is on the brink of collapse, and the Commissioner articulated himself very well. But the lessons that we learn is that we must make sure that we are fit and proper. We must make sure that we stay honest and true to ourselves, to the people, to the Constitution, to the profession. Colleagues, I want to also echo what the Commissioner said. Let us build and continue building an equal and equitable society in our South Africa. Colleagues, it seems like I've been introducing guests the whole time. But the next guest is a very close mentor of mine. We have not worked together, but she's high profile, I'm low profile. But the next speaker is Mrs. Dreyer. Mrs. Dreyer is currently a director for partnership at the Department of Social Development in the Western Cape. She's a true and committed champion of community development. But more so, she's a true server of the people. Honest, integrity, accountability. And if you want someone that can connect you with other people while you are in the street shopping, that's the person. That's the person who taught me that you don't need an office, a fancy laptop, a fancy suit to go and do stakeholder management. You need a positive attitude. You need, like the Commissioner said, you must take accountability. You must demonstrate integrity, then people will listen to you. People will trust you. 80% of the placement partners came through Debbie. If I call and I say, Debbie gave me your number, then they said, I trust Debbie. I know Debbie saw the link between BCD and the placement. So colleagues, please join me in welcoming a very close mentor, Ms. Deborah Dreyer.
Morning, everybody. Morning. Ooh, how do you start something when you must apologize? So I've got to apologize because I thought it was 10 o'clock and then I rushed in here and said, oh, if we put these the mics on, it was 9:30. So there's another lesson there. Always check. Always check. I didn't check. Now, secondly, to apologizing, how do you say something when everybody said it before you? How do you do that? What am I going to say now to you guys and dolls when they all said it? So I'm going to have to pretend. Right? So here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, and most of all, the esteemed future colleagues, you're going to be my future colleagues in the community development sector. I'm going to deviate a bit to tell you a little bit of a story. But thank you very much for extending invitation once again. I was here last year. Much of what I'm going to say, I said last year, because I believe in it so much. So if you were here last year, just make one ear closed and keep the other ear open. If you weren't here, keep it both open. I think today is actually the beginning. Because when you leave here, you're going to be a student in practical placements. And if you work at DSD, we don't recognize students in practical placements. We see workers. Do this, do that, do this, do that. And you're thinking, oh, I'm still studying. I'm not actually sure what I must do. Hey, some workplaces just don't worry about that. I'm being honest with you, ne? Being honest. But so when you leave here today, know that you are actually coming into the workplace. Maybe not in your second year, but I think it's different. Next year, you're going to definitely be in the workplace, and it can be rough. But firstly, what a special day. I thought, what a special day this is today. 30 years of democracy. Can you believe it's 30 years? I'm adjourning the other day. It's 30 years later. I can't believe believe it. Time moves, eh? Time moves. But for me, when I woke up this morning, I said, I want to say this to the students. Suddenly, South Africa that's been on the edge of the ledge. You know, like a week ago we were on the edge of the ledge. And suddenly, we turned towards hope. We left the ledge. Something happened. I don't know if you feel the same. I feel like that. We turned towards hope. And Mandela said, thank you very much, our Honorable Mandela, the most ethical, I think, of our old leaders, said, hope is a powerful weapon when all seems lost. Colleagues, your colleagues, hope. Don't ever let go of hope. In your studies, in your person, when you go and do work. And remember, that's what you got to give to others, hope. Because communities need hope the most. When the water isn't there and the this and the that. The other day, yesterday, 2 days ago, I was driving to Mitchell's Plain. Big thing. And I was on this road and my eyes not so nice anymore because I'm over, you know, I'm on the 6th floor, that's what they call it, 6th floor. So this eyes, I must go to the doctor. And suddenly I was in this road with taxis and it's raining. And as I looked ahead, I saw the most huge pothole. And I said, Debbie, what are you going to do? And I just said, follow this other people. And we went like this. There was this most hugest pothole on this major road to Mitchell's Plain. And I know it's about the rain, but I thought, yeah, could nobody come yet and do something? So the communities were that same space as I was 2 days ago. You're facing such terrible challenges, and therefore you need hope. Hope is what you need. And who is the people that are beacons of hope? CDPs. And I must say today, you are looking so beautiful. Last year there was a lot of outfits. Today you're looking so, I don't know, what is this new thing? Uniform, whatever, identify yourself. So for me, nothing has changed, but everything has changed. I'm so hopeful. Nothing has changed, but everything has changed. And I'm not saying nothing about GNU, I'm just saying nothing has changed, the potholes, but everything has changed. There's hope. Honestly, let me tell you about myself before I start on the other things. I'm actually a social worker. That's my profession. And I'm working for 41 years for the same organization. Oh. Sorry, Commissioner, you should have come to me a long time ago. And I love my work. I love all parts of my work. I've done a lot of different things. But 10 years ago or so, I went to an event by the ex-Minister of Social Development, Lamini, Matabili Lamini, that's what's her name. And she said the following, yo, and that day I changed, eh? I changed. You know how you change? You know what they say about change when you change? It's when your spectacles, you look this way and you saw that, and suddenly it's different. Your spectacles has changed, your eyes have changed. Something changed, you don't see it the same way. And she said the following, a client will come into DSD, social development, seeking a social worker, but they will leave DSD through a CDP. Aye? Do you understand that one? Do you get it? Yes. Do you get it? I don't want to ask you to explain it to me. You know why? Because she understood that most societal concerns, we don't call it problems, né? Most societal concerns are on a community level. A child abuse case, a substance abuse case, a frail older, more poverty, they're on community and societal levels. That's where they are, that's the roots. So you can deal with a singular person and a family, but you're not going to solve, or they're not going to solve. It's not going to change dramatically unless we deal with it on a community, societal level. And that day was the day I changed to become a CDP. I don't have the degree, but I'm a CDP.
Yes.
So let me start by saying that I'll be a CDP and a social worker till the day I die. Because that's what professions is about. When they talk about, I'm going to get to ethics now, but when they talk about professions, it means you studied and suddenly you got this thing on you. I once had a cloak, I just got this jacket, but you know that you are in a lane. You're going to be in a lane forever. You got a label or something, a coat. You are a social worker forever. You can study to be a pastor, but you will still be a social worker. You will die a social, I'm going to die a social worker and a CDP. I still have to finish that one little bit of studies, ne? Yeah. But I am going to die a CDP. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to become a CDP. And no matter what you're going to become thereafter in 10 years' time, because who knows, you will always be a CDP. And that's the part, beautiful part of our profession. You can be a butcher also, you can be a pastor. All is beautiful. All of them is beautiful. But today we're celebrating CDPs. Okay. Colleagues, I want to say that never before has oath-taking and the recognition of your professional values and the relevance of ethics been more important. It's so very important to today's life. Yesterday, last week, and the week before, we saw the politicians take their oath. You spoke about all these unethical politicians because they took the oath and they lied. They all took the oath. I won't steal. I won't lie. They lied. You think people don't see you? The people. We saw them. We see them. We're going to see you. So don't be ethical. Keep to what you're going to promise. Because you're going to promise, ne? Wait, let me get to that. How I wish every occupation, profession, signs and swears to a code of ethics. I think that should this happen, it be one of the cornerstones of an effective, efficient, responsive and relevant service delivery. I want all the people that do roads, ESCOM, all that people, they must do code of ethics. No, Commissioner, this work for you? Because if they did, there won't be the potholes. That means they put on poor grey tar. They knew there's going to rain. No? I always say, colleagues, me, why are we looking at the politicians for potholes? Because there's administrators like Debbie. It's my job to see to the potholes. The politicians is supposed to stand for the people and do all what politicians must do. But administrators, professionals, they got to see to the potholes. And ESCOM, see, it's not politicians. They make the political decisions. But administratively, professionally, you do the work. So why is there that stuff? It means some people, well, they didn't have a code of ethics, but they're not taking their job seriously and they lie. Not necessarily corrupt, but they're not accountable for the job that they've been paid for. Colleagues, we can go on to the water and the everything else and everything else. And the stats and the unemployment and the whatever. South Africa is facing, and I think our politicians know what, we're still very close to the ledge. It could have gone any other way. Oh, you've seen it over the world. It came just that. Look at Kenya. It was just a huge unhappiness and it blew up. Why does it blow up? Because these things, these potholes, they affect the quality of human beings' lives so profoundly. We don't, until we saw the images of people with the rain and the water in their shacks and everything was wet. Go there. A colleague, I saw an email from a colleague. And the colleague said, I had to go there. The rain was raining and I was soaked. My shoes were wet. And employer, you must give me boots. I'm saying, yeah, full it. Feel it. Yes, you must have the boots, but you need to feel how people experience it so that you can make the changes where you have the power. We all have power, ne? We all have power on the desk around us. All of us. Don't ever think that we don't have power, and we wield that power silently and sometimes non-silently. Be careful and see the power that where you are. As a profession, you have a lot of power. Social workers can take kids away from parents for life with a report. What does it do to a child and a family? I'm not saying they shouldn't, but sometimes you ask a big question. Ethics, colleagues, is the mainstay of professions who interact directly with human lives of people. The reason why you're coming here today is because you are going to interact with human lives, not with animals, and not with stones, and not with a mountain. There's other kind of ethics for that. But you're going to interact with human lives. And because human lives is the most precious, not that animals are not, they're all precious, but today we're talking about human lives are most precious. It's important that all of us declare ethics. Declare I swear. The president and I swear. Across the world, not just here. And so that is why it's so important. Yeah, in all the principles. But why is it important? It's because you must understand wherever you go in the position that you're going to go in as a CDP, you're going to be interfacing with human lives. And I always say, imagine, you know how the old people sit by Sasa. Yeah? Sometimes they sit in the rain. I think it was a year or two ago in Belleville, where they actually, the police or whoever, sprayed water on the older people in my voice is really strong. Oh, right, I was talking about older people and they were spraying the water. And you know what? I thought to myself, that could have been my grandma. Do you ever think that that could have been your grandma or your mother or your neighbor or even yourself? So always think of, if that's happening there, that water, what about you? What about me? And when they say put yourself in that shoes, put yourselves in the shoes. Go there and let your shoes be broken. It's okay. But you will never know until you actually experience it. You must be the same as one of the people. But you know what? Sometimes professionals don't want to be one of the people. The people must be there, and you must be here, and there must be some safety. That's not what you're going to do. And that's not what is asked of you. You decided ComDev, and that is not what's asked of you. One of the people means your shoes must also break. Like values, ethics, they provide rules of how a person should act towards other people. Ethics provides rules. What you can do and what you can't do for the people, for institutions, and for the environment. Those ethics that you're going to say, this, it's also about where you're going to come work. We don't want unethical staff. It affects our image. So it's not only about who you work with and the people, it's also about the institutions where you're going to come work. And it's also sometimes about the environment, the community, the broader community. So the rules is not only about that, what you study. I must do a stakeholder mapping and I must do this and I must do that. No. It's much broader than that. And like the colleagues have said, it also affects, and that is why we take a strong stand in it as the government, that if you don't abide by the ethics, there's the door. We show you the door. Colleagues, ethics comes from the Constitution. You know that, ne? And I don't want to go into because the Commissioner says so many things. Amongst other things, the Constitution says it calls for promoting and instilling values such as accountability, integrity, and transparency, and particularly so for the public servant. I'm a public servant, and you know what? The government is the biggest employer. So you're probably going to come work by us. We're the biggest, and the university is a small employer. We got over 1 million people in the government, in all kinds of professions. So most probably you're going to come and work at DSD, local government, DCAS, and other departments, but you're going to come forth, and then you're going to be a public servant. You're going to be working for the public service, And these things are for us very important. Never mind on a political level, but on an administrative level, we take it seriously. And we should take it seriously because I told you about the power. Professionals have power. Soft power, hard power, but we got the power. It's important that we know that power, see it, value it, and respect it. Colleagues, there's a lot of people that do code of ethics. Lots of them. Commission of Oaths, Justice, or what and what and what. But the most best thing for me about code of ethics was, when I looked it up last year, was what was the first kind of ethics ever sworn to? Do you know that? Do you know that one? It was the Hippocratic Oath by doctors. And I think that ethic, that value statement is so beautiful. I think it should be ours. It says, first, do no harm. As a doctor, first, do no harm. That power thing. It's that those doctors told those days, in the Greek times. I think it's so powerful, it's so relevant today. Do no harm. Because what do we do when we are unethical? Potholes, we do harm. You don't see it. Somebody's going to have an accident. Some baby's not going to have clean water. Some sewage tank is going to cause all kinds of sickness. Somebody's going to die. We do harm. So please, let's do no harm. That's the most crucial thing about ethics. Do, yes, integrity, all that stuff, but do no harm. Because if you can keep to that, you're going to keep to all the principles. Ethics is always taken as an oath-taking ceremony, like today, like in Parliament. Why? You know why we do it? Why is ethics so public? Because you want to show the people out there what it's really about. And they can keep you to your word. You're going to go back and you're going to watch this video and say, oh, I swore. I swore like a marriage. I swore. I swear. Ne? And you know what the family does when you have problems in the marriage, and they say, remember what you said that day, Debbie, you're going to stay with him, now you want to leave him. Ne? You swear. It's public acknowledgement, public statement, public. You're doing it publicly. And that's the power of ethics. It's not just that paper on the side. It's that public declaration. You took an oath in front of many others, and you swore. Remember when you go to court for that traffic fine, you say, I swear, Judge, I didn't do it. Ne? Sometimes you lie, but you're swearing. Ne? Judge, accept your word. And then if you show that you're lying, you get the fine. Ne? Ne? You already swore, but then you lie. Ne? Okay. Colleagues, when you think of professionals, and this public swearing, that's one thing. What do you think about when you think of this profession? When I think about professionals, you know how you can see professionals? You can see them by their behavior. It's not what they say, it's what they do. Professionals is what they do. I came late, I told you why I came late, I apologize. It's what I did. It's not what I said, it's what I did. I came late, I apologized. It's by the actions and the interactions. The actions and in the interactions. We spoke about that, ne? When you work with others, you're interacting. You're not doing a computer. Stakeholder mapping, that's a grid. But talking with others, finding information, that's interactions. So you can see the professional by the interactions. The actions and the interactions. How people are with other people. And as a CDP, your one biggest interaction is humbleness. We call it listening, ne? You cannot listen if you're not humble. You must be humble. Close your mouth and listen. Guide, but listen. And so that is how we can see the values underpinning the ethics. You look at the actions, and you know, colleagues, so do the community. They look at your actions. They watch you. They watch you from 8 to 4. They will watch you from 5 to 8 in the club and 8 to 10 in the pub. They do watch you. I'm not saying you can't go there, eh? But when you go there, remember that you're still ethical. Still code of ethics is still, it's 24 hours. It's lifetime, man. Still you die. So before you come here later on, remember that you get a chance still to go. If you don't believe in it, you can go. But if you believe in it, you're going to say it's my actions, it's who I am. And then my interactions, others. It's going to define me. So I always say, is professionalism a way of speaking? It's a way of writing? Is it a feel, a look, a touch? What is it for the CDPs? What is professional for you? So I would like to tell you, colleagues, today, professionalism is a way of being. I said it. Eh? You have to believe and you're going to live it out. All the principles and the theories and the values and all that paper, all the books, you're going to make it simple and you're going to live it out. So it's going to affect how you are, how you see yourself, the decisions you make, what you say it, how you dress. It's everything about who you are. I just want to say something about the way you dress. You don't have to wear a suit, ne? See me wearing a suit? I'm okay, man. I'm cool. Ne? You just need to respect the spaces you're going into. And some spaces say, in this space, I don't allow pants. I'm a pants girl. But when I did go to that spaces where they said don't have pants, I wore a long skirt. It's called respect, man. It's called respect. Like you want to have respect by you, and you have to go for others also respect. So it's everything about the way you are. And then becoming the way you are means you must be attuned to what's out there. Knowing where you're going into. You must be attuned to where you're going into. You can't respect and understand if you haven't done your homework. You must do your homework. Where am I going into? And that's all part of that planning thing, isn't it? That is what that part of the planning stuff is so important. So before you come to DSD, you want to apply for a job there, do your homework. Are you going to fit in there? Lots of people don't fit into the government. Lots of them. They can't understand how these people think. It's so bureaucratic, but you know what? It's not bureaucratic. Every place has got rules. They say the government is a rule-based order. Must follow the rules. But that doesn't mean you mustn't be integrity, you mustn't be innovative, you mustn't ask questions. It's just there's a lot of rules. And the rules are important. You know why rules are important? The commissioner spoke about all the scallops, no? Now all the scallops, when somebody steals, then the government bring out 2 more rules for all of us. Somebody might just steal. Then there's more rules and more rules. Sometimes the rules are necessary. Sometimes the rules are over the board. And when the rules are over the board, challenge it, man. Challenge it. Because the rules can change. Process can change. So we spoke about how you, what you are, what you believe, how you act, how you speak, how you plan, how you relate, how you are in the community, how others see you and how others relate to you. And so my thing is, can a doctor switch off after work and pass by a person having a heart attack? No, man, they can't. Can a nurse do that? Can they leave a bleeding patient? I'll see you tomorrow, I'm clocking off at 4. Can you do that? If somebody really needs you and you're in that space, can you say, oh, my taxi's waiting? You're going to have to take the next taxi, man. That's how it is. You've got to be responsive. Ethics is about being responsive. It's not saying, I'm clocking off. There are many that don't like that. They're not in my camp, right? I want to tell you that lots of people, when they get the title of professional, they think they are above everybody else. The degree maketh the man. No, it's the opposite. The professionals, as a CDP, you are a true servant leader. you got the degree, but now you must learn servant leadership, which is serving others. There was this fantastic lecturer from the States, Harvard School, and she said, you know, servant leadership is, she gave a lecture, she said, leaning in. You know, lean in, man. Lean in, Debbie. What can I do? You know, lean in. You're the servant leader. You don't have to wait till the thing comes to your desk. You see something, lean in. Lean in. Servant leadership, CDP. That's what I'll be teaching them that. Servant leadership. Not the degree, oh, yeah, now I'm done my gun, and I got a job. Lean in. So colleagues, the oath as servant leaders, why it's important is because we work with people, we work with their hurt, we work with their health, we work with their vulnerability, we work with their personal information. That profiling thing that you're doing, what's your ID number, how many children away and who's it, that important information is theirs. There the integrity start. Do you tell your colleague, Auntie Mary got 5 children, 2 of it is in a marriage and 3 of it's outside the marriage? Do you? No? That's where it starts. It's basic. You think it's big things. It's not big things, it's small things. It's very small things. So you deal with their vulnerability and their personal information. You deal with their families, their secrets, their humanity, their trauma, and their feeling of uselessness. That's where people are in the communities, colleagues. That's the truth. That's where people find themselves. And social worker CDPs, that's where we go into as professionals. That's our reality. And sometimes we are blind. But that's where the ethics are the most important. When you must understand where you are in and what you see. Yeah? Remember when they come to your door and they do that census, how many this, how many that, how many times we lie because we don't want the people to know all the things happening in our families. No? Yeah? This one went to rehab and that one, you know that thing there? So we don't like it. It makes us feel vulnerable. So that's what happens when CDPs go into communities. You deal with vulnerability, deep vulnerability. So colleagues, I don't want to read everything. So as I said, there was never more critical time for us to display openly our professional ethics and our promise to do no harm, to act respectfully and integrity, and today's that day. You're going to do that for yourself. And I spoke about the do's and the don'ts. But what I want to say to you with this do's and don'ts in a workplace, colleagues, is something very important. When you do and don't in a workplace, you don't do it on your own, man. None of you are going to be working, even as a student, on your own. If you are on your own, you can better take my number, you're going to call me. Something's wrong. There must always be supervision, not only of students, but also employees, social workers, CDPs. You must always be supervised. There must always be something that's not checking on you, but talking with you, working with you. Are we looking at all the things? Are you seeing things right, Debbie? There must always be debriefing. There must. When you come back in the bus and this, or we did it last dinner, we must always talk about what did I see, what did I feel, where am I now, how am I feeling? You must debrief. Because you know what? You're going to see some scary stuff. Oh my word, you're going to see very scary stuff. What's lying over there? You're going to see hunger like you've never seen it. You're going to see trauma. When there's a fire, it's traumatic. That's where you're going to go into. There must always be mentorship. Find somebody that you really admire. But the program must build it in. And you must always report. You must always report on a piece of paper, on the laptop. You must say what happened, what I saw, what I did. You're not on your own. Even doctors report. And now they say these days, the doctors are so cute. Everything is on the computer. If you went to the doctor there, that doctor over there can see what they did there. analysis in one line, one system. You got the report. You're feeding into work, organizations, but you're also feeding into the image and their values. And if you mess up, rather come tell me, oh, I messed up, then I can help you fix it. Don't keep quiet. I didn't do that. Don't keep quiet. Rather, let's give that supervision, mentorship. Come say, come report. So you're not alone out there as a professional. Your work institution must, and they must provide you with a professional support system. And that is something you must take away. Debbie said so. If you get into a workplace and they leave you alone, call me. I'm going to be on them, because that's not right. In 20 years' time, you're going to be okay. But you must grow into your professionalism. You must grow into it. And therefore, you should not ever be without supervision. I'm not going to leave that. Colleagues, I said about servant leadership, and the one thing that I love about servant leadership is what Dr. Intas Suleiman said. And he said, and this is what I believe so terribly, he said, everyone can be a leader where they are. If they understand their job and they lead with ethics, morals, and integrity, all of us, the Rainbow Nation, can be what Mandela said. If we lead where we are, and I'm getting to leadership, it's understanding, colleagues, leadership, understanding that at each phase and each place where you find yourself, you lead there. You don't lead when you got the title. You lead in the space where you find yourself. I spoke about how you must be in it. And now, do you say, oh, I can't do it, I'm waiting for my supervisor to give me the go-ahead? Yeah, no, sometimes the supervisors are not there. You must always try and check, but sometimes you got to just say, what's the right thing to do now? And then immediately go report. Check in. But don't wait. Yeah, you must get the go-ahead, but don't wait. Lead where you are. Be a leader in the garden. Be a leader in the kitchen. Keep it clean. Be a leader in the toilet. Keep it clean. Be a leader in the workplace. Be a good colleague. Be a leader in the community. Have integrity and ethics. Be the leader where you are. Don't look for leaders. I don't look for leaders. I don't believe in that stuff. Be the leader where you are. Of course, there are different kinds of leadership. There are different tiers of leadership. But on a leadership level, let everyone say, I'm the leader. Even the community, even the family, let them lead their lives. Let them take responsibility. It's theirs. It's theirs. Colleagues, I'm going to go on to the last one. I want to say, yeah, leadership is the title, but I want to tell you about be a sponge. SpongeBob, be a sponge, man. Always learn. You know what? The degree is on your first degree. You must always, you know why you must learn? Because things are changing. 2 days ago, I went to a workshop, and the head of health came, and I said, oh, well, we all sat there, our mouths were open, and all of us are leaders, né? And we were sponging. Oh, he was just so, he just put that picture out there, you know? Always be hungry to learn. Be a sponge. And then you share with others, because life is changing. Nothing's the same. There's forever changing. New methods, new models, new perspectives, new everything, new CDPs, a new profession. That's all that it needs. So be a sponge. And finally, I want to say to you is, I want to encourage you as you start your career. And I want to tell you that you're a special breed of people. I'm starting with myself, because I'm a CDP. A profession that South Africa needs so badly as we face all these ills and concerns. Colleagues, much rest on your shoulders, You know that, You're not going to be the doctor, you're CDP. Much rest on your shoulders. The problems are really community-based and societal. Much rest on your shoulders. and much reward you're going to find. Much. Much. It's going to be very rewarding, very tiring. And so in closure, I'm going to do what I did last year. I'm going to read you a poem. And this poem, I can't remember where I found it. And I can't remember how it reads, but I know it in my heart. So I rewrote it. And it reads like this. The poem is about birds and a tree. And I was going to talk to you about other trees, but that's another lecture. Let me come lecture on trees. But this is about a tree speaking to birds. You are the tree, ne? And so I'm saying this is a poem to you, or ode to CDPs. And this is how it goes. Would I have you in my branches, not because of the heat of the day, but to see you all day long, my heart will fill with joy. Time will pass by and you will forget how to fly. And I would have made you a prisoner. And my joy turned to sorrow. Instead, I say to you today, fly away, bird, fly. Although my heart is full of sadness, it eases knowing that I was there for you when the sun was hottest. CDP, be like the tree. Be there for the community and let them go. Don't stay. Huh? Don't stay. Be there and then let them go to reach their full potential. I want to say to you, congratulations on your oath-taking. Congrats to UWC. I love being with this. I love seeing new, inspiring young professionals, new blood. You can take my number, my email. I'm there for you. Welcome to the community development practice. Really. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dreyer. I think we must actually invite you to come and teach us how to write beautiful poems. But you are correct, Ms. Dreyer, when you say that we are entering a season of hope, despite all the challenges that we are facing. There's always hope. But center in this season is community development. It is you, it is us, it is we. CDPs have power, like all other professions. But with power comes great responsibilities. But most of all, power has the potential to corrupt. We must always be aware of that. I want to echo with what Mrs. Dreyer said, aka Debbie. Let hope be the light in the darkness. Let us inspire to do no harm. Let us be humble and remain humble. Be the leader where you are. Bloom where you are planted. Thank you, Mrs. Dreyer. Colleagues and friends and guests, let me now also invite Professor Maria Florence. She's currently the Deputy Dean of Learning and Teaching in our faculty. She represents today the Deanery because our Acting Dean and Deputy Dean for Clinical and Community Engagement at this stage made an apology. So Professor Florence, very welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Florence.
Thank you, Marquin, and good morning, everyone, and thank you for your patience. I'm the last speaker, so hang in there, and I'll be as quick as possible, but I'm very excited to finally be up here and be able to see the view that some of the presenters have alluded to, and I concur with Debbie and with Zizipo when they said you look beautiful. The white is so appropriate. You look like little lights, and I'm very excited for this program. It's relatively new in the faculty, I'm really excited to see where all of you are going to be going. And some of you are going to be coming back to us. I can see that in Harmony and Zizipo have already been speaking like they belong in the faculty instead of in the student body. So I'm very, very excited. But just to, again, I'm going to read because I'm old, like some of my colleagues here. But also, like Debbie said, I'm going to pretend that you didn't hear some of these things already. And that's how we teach as well. We repeat things over and over. So if I'm the last one, so if you weren't listening up till now's the time to start listening. So good morning, everyone. To our esteemed guest, Debbie, it's really lovely to experience you and your passion. Commissioner, it's lovely to meet you as well. I know that some of your supervisors, your practicum supervisors will be watching, or some of them will hear, your parents, your lecturers. Dr. Hart, thank you so much for inviting me. I know that I'm here as a default, but I'm very excited to be here. So good morning, everyone. Thank you to our guests for coming all this way and for gracing us with their presence. We're happy to have you at UWC, at least for a little while, in the CHS faculty and in our building. It's not easy to access, but it's quite comfortable inside. So very welcome. Like I said, the supervisors as well, good morning to you. I know you've been integral in the training and you're waiting to receive them in the communities. The staff, there's some other faculty staff I'm sure here as well. Good morning to you and welcome, but most especially, good morning to you as our community development student practitioners. Your colleagues now, you're going to be out in the community, and I'm excited to be part of this process of where you start your foray into what you're actually going to be doing eventually. My name, as Marcon said, is Maria Florence. I'm the Deputy Dean of Learning and Teaching, and I'm representing the Acting Dean, Professor Fidosa Wahi. She's not only the Acting Dean, she's also the Dean, the Deputy Dean of Community and Clinical Practice. So today we gather to celebrate and honor the second year class of the Bachelor's in Community Development program in the CHS faculty at UWC, as they pledge to conduct themselves in a professional and ethical manner in their work to uplift underprivileged communities. It is my privilege to address you on behalf of the Dean of the faculty and to witness the growth and commitment of our students as they progress on their journey towards becoming effective community development practitioners. UWC, and some of the speakers have already alluded to this, UWC's history is deeply entwined with the struggle for social justice and community development. In the response to South Africa's unique socio-political landscape, UWC has played a pivotal role in promoting social justice, equity, and community development for over 60 years. Now, some of us are old, not that old, but we've been part of a lot of this over the years. UWC fought against its status as an inferior institution and sought to transform itself into a center for academic excellence and social justice. The transformation laid the foundation for its significant role in community development. During the apartheid era, UWC provided a platform for students and staff to challenge the oppressive regime. And again, you were encouraged to challenge. You're a whole new generation, and none of you I can see are 30 yet, so you are the born frees, but we encourage you to challenge like we did. Where was I? Got excited about the challenging. The transformation laid the foundation for its significant role in community development. During the apartheid era, UWC provided a platform to students and staff to challenge the oppressive regime, promote human rights, and advocate for social change. UWC aligns its educational mission with the broad struggle for freedom and equality, a commitment that extended beyond academic instruction to include community engagement and social activism. And for us, it's exciting that we're getting back to that. UWC has a strong tradition of service learning, where students and staff engage in community-based projects that address local needs and contribute to the development of surrounding communities, which is exactly why our campus is here on this spot. The university has established numerous initiatives focused on health and social development. UWC hosts several research centers that conduct research that informs policy and practice, directly benefiting community development. The university actively participates in advocacy for social justice and human rights. It leverages its academic resources to influence public policy and support marginalized communities. UWC has continued to champion inclusivity and access to education. It provides opportunities for students from disadvantaged backgrounds, contributing to the socio-economic upliftment of these communities. UWC aligns its initiatives with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We actively work on projects related to quality education, gender equality, health and well-being, and sustainable communities, inter alia, lots more than that. From its origins under the apartheid era to its current status as a leading institution in South Africa, UWC has consistently focused on empowering marginalized communities, promoting equity, and contributing to sustainable development. Through education, research, and community engagement, UWC continues to play a vital role in the development of local and national communities. Then moving to CHS. You're all CHS students. So your parents didn't know when they sent you to UWC, you became our children. But now they're hearing it. The CHS faculty at UWC is deeply committed to community engagement. Community engagement is a central aspect of the CHS faculty here at UWC. The faculty is committed to addressing health disparities and promoting social justice through various community-oriented initiatives. Our students are required to participate in community-based education and service learning through providing healthcare services and learning from real-world experiences, some of what you're going to be doing very shortly. The faculty operates several clinics and health services that serve local communities. We engage in collaborative research projects with local, national, and international partners that focus on public health issues, community health needs, and strategies for improving health outcomes in disadvantaged communities. Our research often involves community participation, ensuring that the research addresses the actual needs and priorities of the community and that the findings are applicable and beneficial to those communities. The faculty runs health education programs in partnership with community organizations, as well as outreach initiatives that help increase access to health care and raise awareness about important health and social issues. The CHS faculty offers training and development programs for community health workers and other healthcare professionals aimed at building local capacity. Many of the projects focus on empowering communities to take charge of their own health and well-being. The community engagement efforts of the CHS faculty are aligned again with the SDGs, such as good health and well-being, quality education, reduced inequalities, all contributing to broad sustainable development efforts. These efforts not only enhance student education, but also significantly contribute to the well-being and development of local communities. So now to you, students, today. Today marks a pivotal moment in your academic and professional journey. To date, you have delved into the core principles and values that underpin this vital work. You have learned that community development is not just about addressing immediate needs, but also fostering long-term sustainable change. It is about building relationships based on trust and mutual respect, advocating for social justice, and creating environments where all individuals can thrive. The relationship people have been talking about, ethics, professionalism, and practicum, it's crucial in community developments when you're working in an uplifting disadvantaged communities. Ethical behavior assures that you approach your work with integrity, respect, and a commitment to social justice, prioritizing the welfare and rights of community members. Professionalism encompasses the standards and behaviors expected in your field, fostering trust and credibility in your engagement with the community, and your practicum experiences are vital in community engagement. So as Debbie said, it's not just that you are being trained there, but even as students, or already as students, you are giving back to the communities when you go there. Lost again. Your practicum experience vital to in the community engagement, offering students hands-on learning opportunities to apply your theoretical knowledge, ethical principles, and professional standards in real-world contexts. Upholding human rights is essential for student community development practitioners, especially as UWC students, and that I want to stress, especially as UWC students, given the institution's legacy of advocating for social justice and equality. This commitment not only aligns with the university's values, but also ensures that all individuals are treated with dignity and fairness, contributing to sustainable and equitable community development. So as you progress through your training, you will continue to deepen your knowledge and refine your skills. You will engage with communities, applying what you have learned to real-world situations. You will face new challenges and opportunities that will test your resilience, creativity, and commitment. Remember that every interaction, every project, and every effort you make contributes to the larger goal of improving the lives of those you serve. One of the core tenets of community development is the belief in the inherent potential of individuals and communities. It is about recognizing and valuing the unique strengths and capacities that exist within each community. Your role is to facilitate processes that allow these strengths to emerge, to support communities in identifying and leveraging their resources, and to empower them to take control of their own development. As you continue your studies, keep in mind that effective community development requires a deep sense of empathy and a commitment to social justice. It demands that you listen actively, respect diverse perspectives, and advocate for those who are often marginalized or overlooked. It calls for a holistic approach, considering the social, economic, environmental, and cultural dimensions of development. Your education will provide you with the tools to conduct needs assessments, design and implement programs. I don't really know what all you do, but I heard some of it this morning. Evaluate the impact of programs, etc. But beyond these skills, you possess the passion and dedication to drive meaningful change. Use your knowledge to build inclusive and equitable communities, to create spaces where all voices are heard, and to foster environments where everyone has the opportunity to participate fully in decision-making processes. Your journey as community developers is not just about individual accomplishment, it is about collective progress. The challenges we face today, poverty, inequality, climate change, social injustice, require collaborative and innovative solutions. You are part of a global movement of practitioners, scholars, and activists who are working towards a more just and sustainable world. Embrace this community of practice, learn from it, contribute to it, and let it support you in your endeavors. To the teaching staff and supervisors working with our students, thank you for your continued dedication and guidance. Your mentorship has been invaluable in shaping the minds and hearts of these future leaders. I know that some of your parents are listening, and as a parent myself, I think we often question whether we know what we're doing. Parenting is really about that, figuring it out as you go along. I think as parents you can be very proud. You've done something right if your child has chosen to follow this path. So I watch with anticipation where you're going to take it, and to you as a student. As you continue your journey, stay true to your values, remain committed to the principles of community development, and never lose sight of the impact you can make. I wish you all the best. Continue to strive for excellence and be the change makers the world needs. And as you continue to develop as community development practitioners, I leave you with the words of the great Nelson Mandela. Of course we have to do that after yesterday, and especially as you go into the field. This is from his book, and it's a quote from 2011. He says, "I have always admired men and women who used their talents to serve the community and who were highly respected and admired for their efforts and sacrifices, even though they held no office whatsoever in government or society." And related to that, I want to just remind you as a last thought. I said I was going to be short with it. So this is my last thought. So as you're climbing in your career, think of it as climbing a mountain. This is just a little bit of advice. As you climb the mountain and you get higher and higher up, the idea is not to look down at the people and expect them to be worshipping you out there. But the idea is for you to have a view, a much better view of what is needed out there. And that is what I want you to think about as you look back over your career as you climb. Because I know that lots of you will go further than this degree, postgraduate degrees, you will go places. Remember that when you look back, it's not to see people worshipping you, it's to see the view, the aerial view of where you and your expertise are needed. I wish you all the best, congratulations, and please enjoy the proceedings.
We are almost there, colleagues. Almost. Thank you, Professor Florence. Yes, indeed, UWC prides itself as being a very engaged institution. And yes, very important, we must advocate for social change, but sustainable social change. So let us go to our workplaces from this year onwards in a typical UWC fashion, through integrity, respect, and for me the most important one is the commitment to social justice. Thank you very much, Prof. Florence. So colleagues, now we are all done talking. Now we come to the interesting part. You still have time to walk out and not get married to the profession. But once you are married, we will not divorce you. You will divorce us, but we will not divorce you. So colleagues, we're going to move over now to the oath taking. This is why we are here, the important part. We have listened to all the inputs. But now it's your time to make the commitment, so that you can pay it forward, so that you can be the next Cornell Hart, the next commissioner, the next Ndani, because we rely on you. We are not here for you. So I'm going to ask the class of 2004. Oh, almost in 2004. I'm not that old, boys. The class of 2024, just to come to the front so that we do the oath. Thank you. Thank you very much. So colleagues, we're going to do the oath now. And I want you to use your CDP voice so that all of us can hear you. I want you to, I will read, I will lead, and then you will follow. Okay? Are you ready? A second-year community development student. Who will be registered with the South African Council for Social Service Professions. We'll do that over again. Who will be registered with the South African Council for Social Service Professions. Don't be nervous. And attending at the University of the Western Cape. Believe in the uniqueness, responsibility of self-determination, and ultimate worth of every human being, irrespective of status, culture, gender, religion, lifestyle, and other differences. In a society in which all members share the same basic rights, security, opportunities, obligations, and social benefits. In collective human responsibility for the well-being of society, and in the capacity of all people to change, grow, and develop under the stimulating influence of other people through own life experience and through beneficial living conditions. I therefore solemnly undertake to uphold the values of the profession and shall at all times during my years of study perform all functions as a student community development practitioner and not to overstep this boundary or misrepresent myself and all my responsibilities. Conduct myself in such a manner that will be to the benefit of the profession, colleagues, and community development organizations. Serve my fellow human beings and the community, and strive for the enhancement of the effective social functioning. Continually strive for the promotion of social justice and preservation of human dignity. Always adhere to the ethical code of the profession as contained in the Social Service Professions Act. And fully accept the consequences that may result from non-compliance with these provisions. I declare that I do not have any objection to taking this pledge, which I consider to be binding on my conscience, and I commit myself to upholding this declaration. I thank you. I just want to ask the HOD and the Deputy Dean stand here for a photo with our colleagues. So colleagues, we will now do the official handover of the oath certificate. So I will call your name and you will come to the front, take a photo. I'm not sure where's the photographer at this stage, but we will continue. So first, Emily Boyson. Thank you. Open to it. Thank you. Sivukazi Lakuhu. Anthea Ertzi. Thank you. And Resiwe Keba. Keba. Thank you. Terren Lee Groepen. Andiswa Kumedi. Reese Zeishman. Liam Korki. Thank you. Umungeni Kubeka. Lianda Madikani.
Lizzie Moss. Chihifatso Machila. Rita Bele Matus. Mtabi Maziduku. Snamile Mazibuko. Tulane Makesi. Sigle Mdungena. Daniel Wangali. Lisa Ndia. Zena Mele Nglob. Ayaka Ntlamiza. Lalita Panji. Sifakukle Lucy. Oh, that look means that I said it wrong. I'm so sorry.
That was very nice empathy.
Yes. Thank you. Kususetu Spofana. And last but not least, Andronika Troteli. Thank you very much. You might take a seat.
very much, colleagues. We are moving now to the end of our program, but I'm going to hand over now to Lalitha Hansi, who will say a vote of thanks, and also assisted by Grasha Fisher. Okay, colleagues, just a change of program. There's just a request that we quickly do a group photo and then continue with the rest of the program. There's only two elements left on the program. Thank you. So, group photo.
Is with the commissioner, with everyone that we can have to make it famous. Yes? Bring your own, bring your own, bring your own, bring your own, bring your own.
I thought one was in front. I think we must start with the ones in front. Sorry.
More change?
Can I also ask our partners at the back also to join the photo, please? And BCD staff.
Colleagues, apologies, we are waiting just for one person.
Put your best side forward. Sorry, can we just do one with the OTC? I know, but we do it every year. I know. One more.
I want my best.
Yes?
Take yourself out there. Stay on your toes.
Thank
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move over now to the word of thanks, and this will be done by Elitha Panti and also assisted by the kids. With Grasha Fisher. Thank you.
Dear colleagues and esteemed guests, today's ceremony signifies the start of a committed journey to respond as student community development practitioners to the ongoing injustices faced by too many communities in a contemporary South Africa. So today, we pledge to serve our communities ethically and our fellow human beings and strive for the enhancement of their effective social functioning. So please allow me to convey this message of appreciation on behalf of the second year Bachelor of Community Development students. Firstly, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to those who have attended the ceremony, both in person and virtually. A special vote of thanks goes to, in her absence, the Acting Dean and Deputy Dean for Clinical Practice and Community Engagement, Prof. Wachi, for her support, ongoing kindness, and commitment towards the BCD program. Prof. Florence, the Deputy Dean for Learning and Teaching, who is representing the Acting Dean and Deputy Dean for Clinical and Community Engagement, for your support, and the words you have brought us that have brought hope and true inspiration. Our Head of Departments, Prof. van der Westhuizen, for your support, commitment, and departmental oversight. Commissioner Ngubele, the keynote speaker for addressing and reaffirming the importance of human rights within the broader community development practice. Your commitment towards the advancements of human rights for all goes beyond calculation. Mrs. Drea, our key placement partner, for your words of encouragement. Through your words, we today understand that community development is a way of living and not just an 8 to 5 p.m. job. The BCD coordinator, Dr. Hart, thank you for your dedication and effort in coordinating our course. Ms. Dunya and Ms. Verwant, the two senior students, thank you for preparing us for the field and its realities. Your message also does contribute to a season of hope. The CHC faculty, for the venue and additional arrangements such as catering and transportation. And AVS, for the sound and live streaming. Through the live stream, we can now share this moment with our parents and friends. The BCD administrator, Mrs. Gracia Fisher. I think I speak for the whole department when I say we are not sure what we'd do without you, so thank you for playing an integral part in arranging this magnificent event. And lastly, to my colleagues, let us serve our communities with pride and always aspire for ethical community development practice and advancement of human rights and human dignity. esteemed guests, your presence at our oath has reinforced our commitment to upholding the principles of our profession. We appreciate your involvement in our academic and our professional journey. Once again, thank you for your presence and for your support. Thank you.
So the BCD team gave a little something small for our guest speakers just to say thank you and to remember us by. So for the commissioner, if you can please come up with a little something from...
Well, Commissioner, it was after the fact.
And then to our Deputy Dean of Learning and Teaching, Prof. Maria Flaw. And then to our HOD, Professor Marisha van der Westhuizen.
So I should not get it.
And to David Dreyer.
And guess what I must do now? I've got to declare by the workplace. I will declare. Thank you.
Please come up something small.
Thank you very much, Gracia and Ms. Fancy, for that special vote of thanks. We really appreciate it. Colleagues, we are well in time. Can you believe it? You know, in the community development sector, sometimes, time, it's a challenge. But today we show that we can be in time. I'm going to now call upon my colleague, Mr. Lindani Mapamulu. He's going to do the closure. He's going to bring everything together. And then after that, Ms. Fisher will then just make a few announcements. So over to you, Lindani. Thank you very much.
Besides being a TWC, in my other life, I used to be a preacher. I carry with me this so that I can look at the time. I can stay here until forever. But I've learned, in one of the events I attended, there was a man who was called to do a closure. So the program director said, please come and say 1, 2 for us and close. So the man came to the podium and he said, 1, 2, bye-bye. So I learned you can say 1, 2 and bye-bye. Colleagues in attendance, ladies and gentlemen, our dear friends and families who are joining us online, I greet you. So as we close today's session, I believe that we can take a moment and reflect back to the journey that we have traveled, that you have traveled, our beloved colleagues who are taking the oath today. I'm sure you can reflect on the hard work that has brought you here. I can imagine from grade R to this point, the lifelong learning that has taken place and that has brought you here. And I know that it was filled with joy,
and at some point with tears, at some point with a lot of achievements. But above all, I believe that you have created memories for yourself that will last forever. And I think this is one of those memories when you reflect back on your field of practice as a professional or as a student to say, I once took an oath that I will abide and I will serve the communities to the best of my abilities. And I think that this time would be one of those moments, that serves such memory. The speeches that were delivered today, I can concur that they were directing us to one goal, and that is to keep a sense of community, the experience that we have had today to the world with us. Because when we get there, the world will be expecting us. The world might not be friendly, but they will be expecting us, and we shall continue to deliver with ethical leadership, with all other skills that we've gained throughout the journey. And I'm sure that you have been inspired, I have been inspired today, to continue to spread kindness, to continue to understand, to have that understanding whenever I go. So to the PCT Level 2 class, for those who are celebrating today achievement, I want to say congratulations, and this can be, and I pray that this become one of the exciting new chapters of your life. So as we close this ceremony, may it be in our hearts that we remain open, that our spirit become or continue to be uplifted, that we live our life with purpose, with joy, and love. So as Mr. Nzama would say, 1, 2, bye-bye.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we will be having a little something, a warm beverage and something sweet. It's packed in front by the foyer. So everyone can just grab a muffin pack and then grab something warm and have a chat with your colleagues and supervisors. So thank you for everything and good luck to all of you. All the best for the future. Thank you.
Slay.